So tonight I was gonna make a video, and I thought, I don't know what I'm gonna put in the background of this video, but I don't know. I've had a lot of time to think, and maybe it's time to say something. Now, before I do anything video-wise about what I actually want to talk about, I think it's really important for me to just lay some groundwork here. Now, over the last few days, I've been privy to watching a certain thing play out, and it's been really weird for me to just sit and observe and witness, and it feels like a deja vu almost. And that's the thing with GRC, Jim Rat, and I don't know, it's just been interesting to watch play out. I see he's caught the eye of many people. And there's a part of me that says, I don't know, this just feels really super familiar. This whole it feels like a play or a script. I can't put my finger on it. I think I'm right, but I don't want to jump the gun. Just on his messaging alone, he's having this epiphany where he's come to the light and he realizes that whatever, maybe Pulsechain's F because Ricky's in trouble, And it's weird because I keep hearing these things being repeated, and I don't want to get hung up on them because, it's I'm a really humble person. I think I am, at least. And then really recently, over many months now, I've realized I'm not, maybe I'm not a good person. And so that person I really feel deep down is still inside of me that's not really a good person. Maybe a little bit of the ego starts to come out where I say, yo, it's kind of wild as I'm listening. And I'm trying to be objective and fair. And I want to hear this stuff out because it reminds me of some of these people in the older thing, as they all they used to be about this guy named DP, and they just finally one by one seemed to come to the light when it was undeniable, because it had been obvious for a long time before they were willing to come on camera and admit it, that the whole thing was a wash at best, a scam at worst, God bless. And I think we all have our own progressions to go through as we live and learn the ins and outs of crypto and promotion and marketing and people taking advantage of other people and PvP and whatever, man, winning at any cost. And it's a process, and I think some people are genuinely, inadvertently naive, gullible, punch drunk. I oftentimes felt for a lot of the guys from that ARB thing and how they went about talking about that thing, and maybe saying, they saw the A-bot and, really just vouching for the shit, knowing damn well, anybody with two brain cells is come on, bro, But, I empathize with some of them because, again, you never know what someone's really, truly going through. And the world is ice cold. What's 2025? Shit, 2018. It wasn't much different, It's just the same shit. New day and a new label. The dates change, the years change. But this motherfucking place is ice cold, and you never know their circumstances. The world, if you on E, you on E, man. And not everybody has friends as great as mine that will really fucking hold them down when the tough gets going. You're not anyone's child, and friends aren't to be taken advantage of and all this nonsense. And of course, that's a real thing, but not everybody has friends as good as the ones I've cultivated. And they've even surprised me at times, many times, doing the most extraordinary wild shit that I would have never, even though I thought we were all great friends, I would have never really put myself to even believe that they would be as great as they've actually become and remained. Not everybody has that safety network. And so sometimes desperate times can push you to do questionable things. And so I empathize with a lot of those ARB guys. And I see that a lot of these Hex guys are new. They're new to the crypto. They look fairly young. God bless them. Not all of them, but some of them. Some of them are old players. Some of them are old hands playing the game. God bless. I don't know, man. Some of them, it's not their first rodeo. Some of them were involved in things of the past. Shockingly. You know what I'm saying? But it's all like a connection. But I don't want to get too much into all my theories, too much game theory for me to lay on y'all. But a bit of my ego did creep in. The part of me that, like, I know I'm a good person. Like, there's no doubt about that. For me, I know I'm a good person, but I'm also human and humble enough to know where my faults are, and that I'm terribly human. I'm terribly human, meaning I'm prone to mistakes, even bouts of emotional outrage, where I might get jealous or like, hold on, man. I'm here in GRC, and while I'm on a surface level and a deep level, very happy to see his about face or change of heart, so to speak, and him wanting to preach the good news and do all that good stuff. And I'm really happy to see that. It really reminds me of the past, where those guys from that other thing just came to the light. Some of them genuinely, others as a matter of like convenience. It's like, shit, it's looking so bad, I may as well, like that's kind of how this feels. Now, I'm not making an accusation. I've had the pleasure, of going through the same emotional roller coaster that GRC has gone through. I don't want to make light of his effort to go ahead and preach the good news and spread it to those who need to fucking hear it. Whatever the truth may or may not be. Seems pretty obvious to many. The thing I do take like a little, like, not me, but the little small me that remains under the hood of the newer person I've become, that doesn't really care to like speak on this to a fault, or like, I really did start to notice that, hold up, man, like I'm starting to hear a lot of the things that I was saying forever come out of this gentleman's mouth and like followed up with, and that's cool. I don't really care. God bless. He's got further reach than me, because I at a certain point I really stopped giving a shit. And now I'll clue you in as to what changed in a little bit here. But I'm hearing these things that I've repeated literally since the January middle of Pulsechain sacrifice. Like, bro, like, I think we're in trouble, dog. I think this is not what we think it is. Oh no, I think we got. Hex, oh God, if it continues to dally, is going to a penny or less. I said, like, man, I think we're in trouble. And when I say we, I mean Ricky, right? I mean, I said all those things. I did it at the time. No one dared to do it. It was political Hexagon suicide to even murmur that shit in back channels. They would read you out, fine you. They would excommunicate you. They would scalp you, tar and feather you, and all this. And I'm like, man, this is something that just feels too weird about this. Where it's like, he's saying these things with such conviction, though. Like, he really believes that he's the one who said it, the only one who's ever said it, and the only one who's been saying it. And in fact, the only person who's figured it all out. And I'm like, is this for real? Like, you know what? I like the message. I like the overall message. Like, hey, dudes, it's like dealing with hostages. You know what I'm saying? It's a delicate thing. They're like, they're hostages to themselves. People who are just trapped in the game theory or the novella that has become Hex. You know what I'm saying? God bless. But when I hear the conviction, and forgive the noise, I'm still under this bridge. I'm no longer waiting on Pulsechain, but the bridge still remains. You know what I'm saying? God bless. See? Pun intended or not intended. Your choice. But I was really thrown back as I continue to watch. So I'm going to just give my honest thought. And again, Al Sifa just drove by. I don't know if you heard him. God bless. But I'm just saying, and shout out to Al. God bless you, bro. It was nice seeing you. Yeah, man, welcome back, baby. And then, pause with the baby stuff. But That's my bro. He's a good guy, man. I love the innocent heart and minds, man, of the world. God bless them. Oh, the world needs more of those. It's the only reason. See, I'm about to go dark. I don't want to do that. Anyways, you know, I don't know, man. All this just seems really weird because it's like, I'm going to give my honest assessment as I'm reading this. Now, I'm like I said, these are not accusations. I don't mean to dilly-dally. If you made it this far, you're the winner, right? If I had a guess, and this is just my instinct before I let my mind travel down roads, okay? You know, GRC, he went away. He's come back. He's had an epiphany about face. God bless. And I don't want to blow anyone's cover. You know, that's just me. If there's any important people out there listening or get wind of this content, trust me. Hey, I would love to see GRC continue his work. God bless him. I think it's very useful. Bright, you know, minds much brighter and smarter than mine have probably put him on this path as a form of restitution, so to speak, to help get the good news as like a thought leader and people that people are familiar with. Like even if he repeats things that have already been being said for, I don't know, months and years now, then like at least they'll identify with him. They'll look at him as a hostage who's come back into wherever they've been being captive. And it's like, come on, man, we can get out of here. Just keep quiet. I know the way out. Come with us. But the people that are afraid, they're like, man, I want to escape. But like, we get, you know, they do feed us once here. They stop beating us as bad, you know, but we, you know, if we go out there, we don't know what'll happen. We're safe here. Just go. If you can get away, you go. And he's like, no, listen, it's going to be all right. Just come with us. That's how it feels. It's like you're trying to convince hostages, like, it's okay, come with me. We're here to help. We're here to save you, you know? And I think he was sent by people who, again, not an accusation, just my honest first take assessment after observing him once or twice and his content and the conviction at which he is, you know, shouting the message from the rooftop. A good one too, by the way. It's pretty funny. Not funny, just ironic, or like, I don't know how to explain it. Words are escaping me. God bless. But it's like you're dealing with these people, and I think someone smarter than me sent him on this mission to wake you guys up. That's all I'll say. And like I said, I don't know that that's true. I'm just saying I'm going with my gut. You know, they tell you to go with your first mind. You know, for me personally, I say, you know what? Sometimes like I'll get a thought and I could shake it. And if I do that, like I was like, okay, but if I can't, like it just keeps lingering in my mind, like, then there's something to that. Now, my mind works like this. Rather than jump to a conclusion, I'd rather map possibilities or outcomes or things that may be true that I won't scratch off the list as true or untrue until I have absolute understanding of proof that something is or isn't true. I'm not going to allow my mind to jump to conclusions. I'm going to go with what I see, go where the facts lead us, so to speak, right? And so, you know, that's just me. I'm, you know, deep down, I want to, especially with how he's speaking. I mean, when I watched the first, well, the one from like a week ago or something. I don't know. I don't keep up like that. But people's, you know, I've heard his name come up in places that, you know, I thought I would get away from this types of discussion, but there they are, you know. And so I listened to a stream or two back, and then my first impression was like, oh shit, he got debriefed. And he's here to like help these people like realize like, hey bro, wait, snap out of it. And I think he's a natural response to like, you know, the whole narrative that he beat the whatever and the, you know, the 3-letter agency and all this stuff. And it's just like, it's like a nasty FOMO trick. And like, cause it's a little dishonest, to be fair, you know. I'm not gonna get into the weeds of that. But it feels like he's been debriefed and allowed to appear. Whereas, if I was a thinking man, and I am, I would imagine from all my understandings of previous things that have happened in similar situations, those who were, let me say, how do we say, entangled in the webs being weaved through crypto and marketing and all that stuff, they have to like say, hey, I'm not going to do that anymore. But if if it's for a good purpose and a cause, oh man, go have at it. Go. They send them 2 by 2 among the heathen, go preach the new gospel. It's over. Ricky is over. I don't wish this outcome on anybody. I don't wish the outcome on Ricky, but let the chips land where they may. It just feels like with the way he talks, where he's just so casually like, yeah, man, I made money off that shit hand over fist. I made a lot more of it than y'all did. And like everybody got fucked over. But like I'm here to tell you that like it's over. Like think about that though. Like why are you telling people it's over, but almost simultaneously saying, hey man, I was with the shits the whole time it was with the shits, and like I knew it was some shit, and like I just don't give a fuck, and I'm making money on your heads the whole time, but like I'm letting you know it's over. There's something to that. It feels like there's a deeper purpose or meaning behind, and the openness of these statements is just like a little abnormal, unless someone has some guarantees that he can make those statements and they not be counted against him. Just my thoughts. Now, and I thought about commentating on that a while ago, and I said, well, damn, if it is something that I think it might be, I wouldn't want to be interfering with any of that, because that's crazy. That's nasty work. And that would be pretty asshole-ish of me if I truly do believe that and I said something. Like, I don't want to like piss in the Cheerios of someone genuinely now, whether he's being forced to is part of some reason, or he has some other motivation to like let everyone know it's over now. I wouldn't want to, allow those people to not listen to his message. And if I say, hey, maybe the reason is he is there for that reason, that's even more scary. Like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? It's almost over. And I feel like, these people have the ability to like try to use these guys to let you know. And the reason I'm saying this is because this is exactly what happened last time, where all these guys from, that made the most and were the quote inner circle, stuff like that, they slowly started coming out and having these epiphany moments and realizing that DP wasn't who he was. And we said for a long time that it took a long fucking time, almost an entire bull run later, to come to find out DP wasn't the guy. And like many of us who get tangled as content creators, get tangled in this cycle web being weaving, I don't know. You have to sign a paper that says, hey man, I'm not going to talk about this or that or whatever again. But hey man, if you're doing like some like PSA, public service announcement, let's protect the people who are too dumb to like get it, they might like authorize you to come back and let everyone in on the secret that's not really a secret. It's like right in your fucking faces. So God bless GRC for that. And I'm thinking it's at that level now. And I haven't been able to shake that thought as I watched a second and even third stream of his, and I'm like, damn, this dude looked like he'd been sent on a mission by someone. And I think that's really powerful and important if that's true. I don't know if it is. I'm just speculating, of course. And I wouldn't want to like interfere or blow up his messaging in that regard if that were the case, because it's going to prove to be helpful, just like it was for many of those people from the RDP thing. Unless they slowly woke up back to reality and have that reality check that I've been posting for years, waiting on Pulsechain. Yeah, the little petty, shitty person that I've like tried to bury and put away and outgrow is like, hold on, man, what you mean? What you mean? You the only one figured it out. What you mean? You the only one saying what? It's weird because I'm like, he's making, like, let's say I sold Pulse at a profit, a legitimate one. Dodge selling the shit at an even gigantic premium to somebody that's really cool and close with me. Thank God, you know. If I wasn't already more of a fuck up than I am, that would have severely stressed our relationship even more than I have managed to stress it on my own. Much less, hey bro, here's a bag of PLS or PLSX at 10x SAC. It's quite a deal, isn't it? Fuck no, it's not. What are you talking about? I almost killed my own friend hardcore, for real. Think about that. Damn. It's like, I was telling people a long time ago, bro, Hex going to a penny or less. And I said that about Pulsechain taking too fucking long. The price was up damn near 30 cents. Like, what you doing, Hex? Man, this shit is bullshit. Nigga, sell that shit. If you love it, sell it. You can buy so much more now. And boy, would I not have been wrong. Hold on. What part did he figure out, nigga? He was fucking 555 staking, preaching, glazing the good news. God bless him. I don't mean to be disrespectful. He looks a little strong. I don't want to offend him, man. I'm not worried about that, but I'm just letting him know before he jumps the gun. You feel me? Like, I don't want to have to go there. Don't go there. Don't go there. I'm just saying. My man's just barely streaming without that crinkle in his forehead. You know, he's just angry as fuck, and I don't need to be the target. Let him focus on the target, the true one. Ricky. I'm not against that. But truth in messaging, it's almost as being disingenuous as saying he beat the SEC when you know motherfucking well, if you are a fucking American, make no mistakes, you are going to get put through the fucking ringer. For exactly, if someone emulates what Ricky did, they are going to get put through the motherfucking ringer without question or delay. Ricky did not beat the SEC. They said, hey, the judge said, you haven't stated a claim because you technically can't because he is not under our jurisdiction. Stop fucking lying to people. Only the gullible are falling for this. But it's just patently disingenuous to say that. And most of you don't know if he did that just to carry on with the charade. Hey, man, spend a couple of hours on these lawyers, man. Get that shit dismissed, B. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is that? That might not be what you think it was. It wasn't to, like, further the whole space and all that. Maybe that's a byproduct of it. We've established that if a motherfucker's not in the U.S., he don't really belong getting bothered by the U.S. That's established. I mean, God bless for all you worldwide crypto people. But to this, you know, mislead people and think that Americans, he is beating Americans, set a crazy precedent. God bless and blah, blah, blah. You're lying to yourselves. And I think that saying certain things that, you know, and I'm sorry, I'm being a little jelly, but I've let this go a long time ago. I'm really only concerned for how it is continuing to affect people that are cool with me and close to me. And, you know, it's one, it made me want to, you know, it's a novella, man. Hey, man, let's have a discussion. It's okay. I don't mean anything by it. I just want to add my little, you know, my game theory is crazy. You know what I'm saying? I saw Hex going to a penny or less. I even also had similar discussions in reverse with friends where it did 50x in a couple months. So I'm unbiased here. But I am going to call it down the line. Like I was among, hey man, I don't think so, bro. And I don't mean to be a hater. I have so many friends that are still fully immersed in this post-chain lore that like, it's worthy of a discussion. But it's not the video I really wanted to make today. So I'm going to just put this out there is that this is my discussion. And I want to remind everyone that comes across these messages like, you know, the meta, me, the guy under Pulsechain, under the bridge, waiting on Pulsechain, that was giving everybody a reality check, waiting on Pulsechain. Like, when that shit, I remember it was up at 0.0 whatever, just under 40% off sack rate for Pulsechain. And I was like, man, it looks like the next stop is 0.025. And if that happens, fuck, sell the shit. And y'all didn't sell, man. You didn't believe me. Just like a lot of people didn't believe me when Hex was 20 something cents, almost 30 cents, going down, 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 down. I came out with videos every fucking day, damn near, as it kept going down. And I'm saying, sell the shit. If you love it, sell it now and buy it back later. I think you'd be donating again, but God bless. I mean, actionable and don't tell me the weather. That's fucking stupid. We don't need to know the weather. We need to know when shit's gonna happen before it happens. Fuck telling me, hey, I walk outside, it's hot. I don't need the weatherman to tell me it's hot. I need the weatherman to be fucking accurate a week in advance and say, hey, if you go outside, you better bring an umbrella because it's gonna be rain. That was me. You know what I'm saying? Think about how long Zen came out. My man was still straddling the fence between the Hex and Zenikin. What the fuck are you talking about? You the only one that figured it out. Like, what? Bro, no. Most of these dudes, and God bless him for making money. That's the name of the game. If that's what you need to do. But a lot of these guys, they all got wrecked. They don't want to listen to me. I'm nobody. And you know what? I'll remain that way. And I'm okay. Because I know I sold at a profit. And it's a shame. Because it didn't help anyway. It just wasted my fucking time with money I could have otherwise utilized to make real scratch in a much more timely manner, for other purposes. But it doesn't matter. I think a lot of people need to get this through their fucking heads now. And so GRC, applause for the show. I hope it's real, but it looks like fictional drama to me. Inspired by, I don't know, some obvious agreements or consent or agreement for some other reasons. That's just me speculating. Don't send nobody my way, man. I'm just saying, I'm enjoying the show, man. I'm gonna pop some popcorn and wait under this bridge and see how it plays out. But I ain't worried about that shit no more. No one should be. As a matter of fact, I was the first one. And I mean first one. I don't want to go listen through all my fucking videos to say, hey, Ricky works for me now. I don't have to say, if Pulsechain going to do what it do, like everybody in the comments always says, the same way they're doing to him now, you're going to miss it off. Bro, this was a 2-year-old conversation in my comment sections. You didn't just figure, you ain't the only one to say this shit. These dudes are repeating and regurgitating my lines. And the epiphanies, maybe he's a fan. God bless him, bro. He might have seen that I took all that shit down because you're supposed to ghost trolls. And I think Ricky's trolling. I think he's the god troll god. I've been saying it, troll god-ish. But, I'm going to take his advice. Hey, man, stop amplifying the shit. The drama is what it is. So the thing is, when I see that, it's either there's some purpose to GRC doing it. Either he's being told to do it by a good entity or a bad entity. But that's the only two outcomes. Because you can't, listen, on a real level, you can't tell me you was that comfortable with getting paid, hyper paid, and now throwing it at everyone's face while telling them it's over and being really proud of yourself and it's just like, I think there's a real possibility, like many other people, they get brought up and amplified amongst this like social network, These guys are smart. I'm not talking about the people on the low level. They just probably told what to do. How it goes out from there is being orchestrated and organized beyond their thought process. Compartmentalization. So that like one hand doesn't know what the other's doing. They're just like, here's your instructions. Go make some FUD videos. All right, cool. Whether that's for recompense or it's because it's being ordered, hey, we need some outrage marketing. The people are angry. They're selling. We want everyone to be more mad at you and not Ricky. I can't count on two hands how many times that sleight of the hand, including Jack, was one of those moments. Anyways, yeah, man, God bless you. I'm out.